All right. And I'm trying to reboot my computer on one side and also reset my other laptop on the other side. It's a gamer's laptop, but I don't use it anymore. I just use it to play. Nevertheless, maybe I need to set it. Anyway, I have so many questions today. For the past days, I've been thinking about so many stuff. Like one of the things that I've been thinking often is why can't we use the phone on the airplane when you take an airplane and you are at 30,000 feet? I think it's 11 kilometers on the air. Why you can't use your cell phone anymore? I mean, we're in 2022. It's not that we don't know how things are going to react. It's not that we don't understand electronics and radio frequencies. It's kind of weird to me that we don't use it. And actually, I found a couple of answers, and it has to be with the Americans. Oh, Americans. Then I was thinking about something else that is affecting us, affecting everyone. It's not a bad thing, but hear me out. At least here in Singapore, is mandatory to wear a mask to cover the face for because of the coronavirus. If you go to any indoor place, so if you go to the mall, if you go to the movie theaters, anywhere you go, you must wear a mask. But it's kind of funny because if you go walk outside, let's say for example me, I go outside of my house in the morning to go to the gym. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm walking outside. But then as soon as I get to the bus, I take my mask out of my pocket, I put my mask on my face, and then when I get out of the bus, I take out my mask and I go to the gym. And the gym, because it's exercise, you can remove it again. So basically, you're taking out and in and out and in and out. And as far as I remember, at least at least in the healthcare industry, if you put a mask, the time if you touch the mask, you have to already change it, throw it away. It doesn't work anymore. And the other interesting thing is that me wearing mask and having three boosters, three shots, the original Pfizer, and then I have a booster with Moderna. I got COVID in February. Yeah, February this year, 2022. And just 2 weeks ago, I got ill, super sick with fever and everything, not sore throat, but it was super bad. The fever was, I was hallucinating, I think, sometimes during the night. I had the weirdest dreams, and sometimes I don't know if I was awake or not, if it was a dreaming or I was awake and it was a thought, like weirdest thoughts I had. And I mean, what the hell? I'm vaccinated. I'm still getting a flu, and it was a super bad flu because I test myself with these ART kits, and I tested twice, 3 days after I start feeling bad again, and it says negative. So basically, I have a lot of vaccines for COVID, and I still got catch COVID. And on top of that, I still catch normal flu. Normal, I would say. This one took me super bad. I don't know if you guys have had a flu recently, but this flu was way worse than COVID. And then because I was worried about, I mean, wearing masks, for how long are we going to keep wearing masks? It's like everyone forgot already. We just keep it wearing because everybody says the social thing to do. We have to be supportive with everything and the social, all the bullshit that people say and make us believe. And now we're wearing all masks every day. Until when? Things is not moving on any direction. Like the virus is changing, and um, is so unknown that there is an article in Wire magazine talking about basically the virus is winning. The name of the article in Wire magazine is "The COVID virus keeps evolving. Why haven't vaccines?" Hmm, there you go. There's another point here. There's an interesting point here about what we got promised with the mRNA technology vaccines that is basically is not catching up. And still, we keep using masks. If you tell me this again, I think I even said it on my podcast a while ago. Yeah, back 2 years ago, if you asked me, hey, do you think that wearing a mask is a thing? I say, yeah, sure, because everybody say it. The CDC, the WHO, everybody is claiming that the mask is it's like the soldiers, the front line to defend ourselves against the virus, and it's not. Anyway, I mean, I'm not anti-mask person or anything. I'm just trying to raise this concern because I was wearing a mask and I still got the flu. So if I get a normal flu and I got COVID, and I think the COVID variant that I got, I think it was I think it was Omicron, and they said Omicron is pretty contagious. So who knows? So you see, these questions I have. I have questions regarding COVID. I have questions regarding cell phones, and then also I was thinking everybody keep talking and talking, and they say no, I don't like TikTok, I don't like Instagram, I don't like this one because of the how the algorithm works, because algorithm here, because and dude, what the fuck? You don't even know what's an algorithm. Do you even know the definition of algorithm? I'm an engineer, and for me, is I cannot explain what algorithm is. I mean, it's just a program that makes decision based on something that is programmed, and it has calculations, and it has equations, and it has all these things that no one understands. I mean, you take a phone, you put it on your ear, you make a call. If you take calls, some people say like, no, I don't take calls, so I don't know why you have a phone. And the rest of the time, you just scrolling down Twitter, Facebook, checking emails, texting. But people say about the algorithm. They talk. They don't like this algorithm. That they don't like the other. That why they don't like any more Instagram since they changed the algorithm. Basically, you are just saying what everybody's saying because you don't even know what an algorithm is. Well, personally, I like more TikTok algorithm, but it's very funny because what is the algorithm doing? Like for me, one day I was not complaining, but I was like, wow, why always I open my TikTok, I always have like cute or hot girls dancing, sexy girls doing dancing. Why? Why do I have that? Why is it my fault? Yes, it's my fault because TikTok, when I open TikTok, if I like a video or if I spend time on the video, basically will feed the algorithm and TikTok will say, hey, this guy like this. Let's keep showing him some girls dancing, hot girls dancing. Of course, TikTok algorithm will also send you other stuff, things that you might like or things who are trendy in many ways, by how it looks, by type of music, by users, by location. Very interesting. But then it comes to the point. I don't want to. I mean, I don't mind to see sexy girls dancing, but it's not just that I want to see that. And if I go to to the to the bus and there's someone next to me, they can see like all these girls shaking their booty in my next to me, and I mean, there's nothing wrong about it. But sometimes I would like to see other stuff. Like you get like a little bit sick of you know um, booty shaking. So then, but the algorithm keeps showing you this, and I say I don't want anymore. So every time that it comes, I try to pass it, and you try to like keep scrolling, scrolling. But sometimes you stay again, and then because you stay some seconds on the video, then the TikTok say, "Oh, you don't want it, but you keep staring at it." So yeah, and that's with technology. That's with the phones. So we have phones, we have COVID, and then we have something else. Have something else. Maybe it's just me that I was wondering, and there must be a very good explanation, or maybe not. Uh, 2 weeks ago, I went having lunch with one of my friends, my very good friends, Nico. Yeah, and then we were having some drinks, just a random afternoon having drinks. I think I got a couple of Heinekens, and we share some plates, some food, and then I saw like maybe I should get a burger. And when I get a burger, it comes with a side. You don't even need to ask. Majority of places they offer you a burger, it comes with a side. And the side, what is it? Potato chips or fries or French fries or Belgian fries or whatever you want to call. But it's always coming with potato chips or fries. Why why the side dish is always fries? And if you go to USA and if you go and get a steak and it comes with sides, and sides are always fries and coleslaw or coleslaw. I mean, the coleslaw is there in many places, but the fries are always there. Why we always have fries? Who can answer why we always have fries? I mean, potatoes are cheap. Maybe that's the first. It's fried. We like fried food with a lot of salt, yeah, because they say the human craves salty food, and that's why we like bacon because it's salty and fatty. But fries, why we always have French fries? Why we always have potatoes? And that's question that I haven't looked on the internet. For sure, if you go to internet and look for it, I will find an answer. Nevertheless, I haven't found, I haven't even checked. Well, and I didn't say hello, my beautiful people. I always have to introduce myself. This is your random guy. If you're watching me on video, I'm wearing this thing that I look like a phone operator, but somehow is the best way that I have in order to make my podcast easier with the better sound. I can just use this because I have some of my microphones somewhere, but then I have to connect it and then I have to synchronize the microphone with the video, and that's too much work. And I'm not going to do it in this case. So that's why I look like I work in a call center. Anyway, or I'm making scams. Have you seen so weird the scams? Any type of scam. Sometimes they call you and they give you the most stupid reasons. But on top of that, there are very interesting scams that they send you an email and you see the email and okay, why not? Maybe I'll become millionaire. They send you that they want to talk to you about this person who died, that he left a lot of millions, and in order for you to get this million, you have to help this person. But then if you start checking all this email about everything, it has a lot of orthographical issues. The names are misspelled. When they have links, even the links that they claim to be something, the picture is wrong. So why, if you're trying to scam people, why can't you just do your job properly? Seriously? But yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, that I was doing something with my other Dell computer here, I'm not going to show it. I was also drinking water because, Hmm. actually, because one of my one of my goals on doing the podcast and that I can put on video as well is that I will try to talk about beers and the things that I enjoy, not just because it makes you to be drunk and more fun, but because it's a good drink. It's a good drink. Yeah, it's a good drink. It doesn't talk bad about anyone. It doesn't steal. Yeah, but I don't have any. Well, that's not true. I do have beer. I do have many beers here on my in my kitchen behind. But let me show you what I have on beer, and I have four different brands. So let me show you this. I have an Irish beer, Irish style dark beer, and it says it's non-alcoholic. Then one day I was going to cook, and I ordered some beer online, and because I wanted to have this height beer, it's a Korean beer. It's very smooth to drink, and I just ordered. I didn't pay too much attention, and I got height zero, basically 0.00 alcohol. So alcohol free. Who do this bullshit? And then one of my friends came for a party, and some of the people don't drink, and they prefer. And they say, okay, I'm going to bring something. I'm going to bring food. And back then they were vegetarians, so they brought some very nice vegetarian food, and also they brought some beer. Carlsberg, alcohol free. And I'm like, I mean, I understand. I understand that companies want to fill this gap, they want to attack this market that is basically the alcoholics. That's why the alcohol free beer is. The non-alcoholic beer is for alcoholics. You can tell me whatever you want that you like the taste. Uh, Bullshit. I mean, if you like the taste, you can have lemonades that the taste is way better with sugar and all, and then with honey, whatever you want to call it. That's even way better than having a beer. But beer, you like it because some of them they have good taste, and it has the bubbles, and it has the color, and it's a social thing. And on top of that, it makes you a little bit drunk. It makes you dizzy, make you feel good. It has this how do you say? It remove your inhibition. Uh, it makes you more socially accepted, or you accept better everything. It makes you look more handsome. You see people more good looking. So it's a social lubricant. So why are you going to drink beer without alcohol? And the only answer is because it's for alcoholics. It's for alcoholics. There's no other reason. It's just to bring the alcoholics to buy the products. And I'm sorry if you're an alcoholic. Yeah, that's not a. I don't want to make fun of alcoholics. I'm just saying that that's kind of the reason of the product. Alcoholism is a very serious shit, and yeah, I have to agree that the properties, the intoxicating properties of the alcohol is way is worse than properties that makes you feel fun. For example, like marijuana. I think marijuana is way better than alcohol, but alcohol is legal, marijuana is not, and we can have a big talk about it. We can blame the CIA about it. You can check on Google, watch some movies, and you can see why the CIA. You can blame the CIA. What is this problem with the marijuana? Okay. Um, oh, airplanes. Actually, while I was talking bullshit here, I was looking for why you cannot talk on your phone, on your mobile phone in 2022. Still, you cannot talk on the phone while you're in an airplane. And this is this actually, again, I said, is because of the Americans. The Americans are to blame. And actually, there are two different parts of the US government. One is the FAA, that is the Federal Aviation Administration, and the other one is the Federal Communication Commission. So they have this, and let me read the article that is in How Stuff Works. And it goes like this. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has long prohibited the use of phones and other devices to connect with cellular networks because of what it says is the potential for those electronic gadgets to interfere with aircraft navigation and communication systems. Mm. In 2013, the FAA did soften that stance slightly, allowing the use of mobile devices in airplane mode. We all know airplane mode, in which the phone's ability to transmit radio signals to cell towers is turned off, as long as airlines could show that it wouldn't interfere with a plane's electronics. Yeah. In airplane mode, the ability to call and text is turned off. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth access are also turned off, but you can turn them on separately while still remaining in airplane mode. Additionally, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, that's the other guys, which regulates mobile phones, banned airline passengers in 1991 from making calls in flight, out of concern that those signals would interfere with communication networks on the ground. That prohibition is still in force, though in recent years the FCC considered, but then rejected in November 2020, just 2 years ago, a proposal to allow a technology that would have permitted passengers to make cellular calls without creating interference. And they're going to speak on that later. So, is it really necessary to ban cell phone use on airplane flights? Researchers in the mid-2000s concluded that phones did have the potential to interfere with critical electronics in aircraft, though they couldn't find any instance which it had caused an accident. As this 2006 IEEE Spectrum article details. You can go and check that link. Well, and basically what they're saying is they cannot prove that the cell phone radio frequency will interfere with the avionics of the phone. And actually, there's some. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole article about it because there is a lot of information. And there's this guy that explained that basically the the systems are shielded and the airplanes are hardened to withstand radio frequencies outside of their own radio frequencies. So that's kind of stupid. Somehow, it doesn't make sense too much in 2022 that you cannot do that. But let me tell you why I think we cannot make calls when you're on an airplane. First of all, and I think they mentioned somewhere there in this article. First of all, the cellular towers are installed on the ground, and basically they are engineered in a way that they will send the signals on the ground. So they're not focusing on the airplanes. So basically, even if you could make calls, you have no internet connection. You don't have mobile service while you're in the airplane because you're 30,000, 33,000, 11 kilometers on the air, and you don't get any For example, I'm here in Singapore. You don't get uh, any Singtel signal. And if you're in US, you don't get any AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever. So from that perspective, even if you have your phone on and not in airplane mode, you can't communicate because there is no internet connection. So that's the first. So from the practical perspective, yes, it's not going to be possible because technically speaking, again, as I said, that all these towers are engineered to send radio frequencies through the ground and not on the air. And that's one of the things. Actually, I was reading here that I think it was British Airways and British Airways and Virgin Atlantic, they were doing something. Okay, so for example, they say, so how is that some planes offer cell phone service on board? I have seen that, but I don't know if they do it anymore. There's a technology that allows passengers to make calls without the risk of interfering with the plane's electronic or ground networks. As Bilen is the person who wrote these specific details about this article. As Bilen details in his article, picocells, basically a miniature low-power cell tower installed on the plane, allows calls to be transmitted over the aircraft internet connection. Since the early 2010s, Virgin Atlantic and British Airlines has provided in-flight mobile services using that technology, but the service is discontinued once an aircraft is within 250 miles or 400 kilometers of the US border. You see, guys, again, the Americans, why we have to go all over the world? The whole world is not managed. The whole world is controlled by American rules. Everything is by American. Even the drugs that we get worldwide basically is the FDA. If the cell phone things and how the airplanes do and what do they do and what cannot do is the FAA. So what the fuck, man? Well, anyway, you see, this system, what they did is they put a specific mobile cellular antenna on the airplane to communicate somehow by internet or something to the um, um, towers on the ground. But again, I read all this article and it says that it's not proven whatsoever that is going to make any accidents, and they haven't created no accident whatsoever if you can use your phone on the airplane. And why? Why? Because most planes nowadays are hardened, explains Billen, who wrote an article about cell phones on aircraft for the conversation in 2018. That's 4 years ago. There's always a possibility of some adverse interaction, but it's essentially a risk that the companies have tried to mitigate by hardening their electronics, by putting shielding around them. Shielding or hardening means to surround the airplane's electronics, like the flight control system, with an electrically conductive metal to prevent electromagnetic interference from computers and cell phones. That's really good evidence that such protection works because, as Billing notes, there probably are plenty of passengers who don't turn off their phones' cellular connections exactly like me. I have done it many times, sometimes unintentionally, even after flight attendants remind them to before takeoff. Yeah, that reminds me. There is a thing here. Imagine if he was allowed to make calls on the phone, then everybody sitting next to you will have this discussion with his ex-girlfriend or this girl talking to the boyfriend about random stuff, and then you just want to have your own peace in this airplane. Airplanes are already terrible. I mean, I like to travel, but airplanes are the most uncomfortable place to sit, and it's a nightmare unless you go in first class or business. So imagine that in a 300 people airplane, 200 are talking on the phone. So yeah, from that point of view, I think is smart not to make the phones available. Nevertheless, it should be like in the trains or in the buses that basically as part of society, we just give personal space to everyone, and you shouldn't disturb the other ones having phone calls or something, and that's why everybody's texting. Um, well, I guess for that there is already a solution. Some airplanes I have been in these airplanes when you're crossing the Atlantic that they offer internet. You just have to pay a ridiculous amount of money. You have to pay like, I don't know, like $60 for the whole trip, and you can have internet on your phone. But it's funny because when you are close to US borders, then the system goes down. So again, Americans, you guys, but okay, again, is it stupid that we cannot use phones on the airplane? Yeah, I think in 2022 that they keep claiming that is because of their safety. Come on, guys, don't take us as fools anymore. We know it's not that the reason. With all the electromagnetic interference and field and all the airplanes moving around, there's enough electromagnetic interference already on the air. So, and the other article that I read, it was about the famous algorithm. Hmm? So, do you know what an algorithm is? I'm going to read to you what an algorithm, the definition of algorithm from Wikipedia, because if Wikipedia don't know it, no one knows it. Algorithm. In mathematics and computer science, an algorithm is a finite sequence of rigorous instructions typically used to solve a class of specific problems or to perform a computation. Algorithms are used as specifications for performing calculations and data processing. By making use of artificial intelligence, algorithms can perform automated deductions, referred to as automated reasoning, and use mathematical and logical tests to divert the code execution through various routes, referred to as automated decision making. Using human characteristics as descriptors of machines in metaphorical ways was already practiced by Alan Turing with terms such as memory, search, and stimulus. Okay, there you go. Basically, algorithm is just a set of instructions to do something. That's why when you open TikTok and you're getting all these semi-naked girls shaking their booty, is because you are telling TikTok that you want to see that. It's your fault. And of course, um, yeah, there are many people who are looking for that, and there are people looking for your attention. So be careful with that. Uh, what I was going to say on the algorithm part. Well, yeah. Anyway, in my TikTok, yeah, my algorithm send me a lot of sexy girls dancing, and but also I get a lot of sports because of course I love sports, so I get all kind of sports and technology stuff. And now because I found a couple of guys who were telling jokes, then I get like a lot of fun shit, like stand-up comedians and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying TikTok, and I usually try to do TikTok. So I don't call myself a creator per se, but if you guys see me on TikTok here, hello. I'm also in YouTube and in Spotify and in Apple Podcasts and in many other. Am I going to be famous soon? Maybe in 5 to 10 years when I make some quality content on this. Um, but for now, let's just do it because it's fun. Oh, just hold on. Just give me a second here. I'm checking if I can fix my other laptop. You see, technology is our worst enemy. Oh, and talking about technology, you see, I was trying to close this computer and I have the famous COVID virus keeps evolving. Why haven't vaccines? Article in Wired magazine. And let me read you a part of it. Uh, and this is the part that I found interesting. And I'm reading from Wired magazine. The promise of mRNA technology was its adaptability. Vaccine makers touted its plug-and-play nature. If the virus mutated to evade current vaccines, scientists could simply swap in a new piece of mRNA to match the new version of the virus. But today, despite wave of variants including Delta, Omicron, and the latest threats, Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5, the COVID-19 vaccines and booster shots still target the original virus that was identified in late 2019. Why haven't variant-specific boosters arrived sooner? And then let's keep reading. You're working with a virus that is rapidly mutating. Each of these variants is around for a few months and then is replaced by a new variant, say infectious disease specialist Archana Chatterjee, Dean of the Chicago Medical School. This is a race that we are continually behind on. Exactly. We are behind that. The good thing is like we are not following any means like how many thousands of cases of millions of cases. Seems like people are not dying anymore. So much about the virus. And as I say, I have 3 vaccines. I wear a mask, and I still get the damn virus. And I even get the the normal flu. But anyway, let's just not keep boring you with all this virus COVID-19 thing. And yeah, let's just call it a day. Thank you everyone for following me today. I hope I didn't talk too much nonsense, and maybe it was a little bit enlightening on your Random Tuesday. See you soon, guys, and I will finish to reset my PC here. Bye, everyone, and peace.